Hey, y'all.
Hey.
All right, students, let's quiet down. Pearl, don't you know better than to not cover your mouth when you're coughing? That's a good way to spread germs.
What's the big deal anyway? It's not like I'm sick or anything.
Just because you don't feel ill doesn't mean you're not spreading germs.
So, teacher, you're telling me that we can get sick by things we can't even see?
Yes. Well, kids, gather around. I'm going to give you a bit of a history lesson. You probably heard or seen pictures in bathrooms saying to wash your hands or don't spread germs. Do you know why?
No.
It may sound crazy, but there was a time in history when the act of simply not washing your hands led to many infections, many from doctor to patient, causing people to die.
Could the spread of germs really cause lots of death? If I didn't wash my hands for a week, could I infect people and make them die?
Well, Tommy, if you didn't wash your hands or shower for a week, I think it'd be your classmates who would have to smell you all week.
Yeah, isn't that why we get shots when we go to the doctor? So we don't get sick later on in life? Man, those weren't fun at all.
Absolutely, Charlie. We are fortunate to live in a time where we have vaccines that at one time would have killed people. Thanks to advances in medicine, specifically over the last 2 centuries.
Oh, I remember those shots too. So I know we get those shots to prevent us from getting from certain diseases, but I also heard we can get sick from animals and bugs too.
You heard right. In fact, in the mid-14th century, almost half of Europe's population was wiped out due to a disease spread by rats to fleas and then to humans.
Shook it.
Yes, it was extremely contagious. It was a virulent bacteria that caused high fevers, attacking the lungs, and turning the body black before death, dubbing it the Black Death.
Wow. So do you think if people were more clean in those times, they wouldn't have spread so many germs from those fleas and rats?
Well, Tommy, it's a little more complex than that. Most germs we are unable to see. Thankfully, to the invention of the microscope brought an entire new chapter to the world of medicine. In fact, it was Anton van Leeuwenhoek, a Dutch scientist, who was the first to recognize and understand bacteria by studying them under a microscope.
Did he discover any other cures?
No, not necessarily, but his findings and research on bacteria, as well as his improvements to the microscope, were contributions important in the fight against infectious diseases.
So who is?
An English physician named Edward Jenner found the first vaccine for smallpox in 1796. He noticed that people who worked or lived on farms came into contact with cowpox and were immune to this deadly smallpox that was infecting millions of people. He formed that a strain of this cowpox exposure to people who were healthy would make them immune to smallpox.
Pearl, are you not paying attention? You could be spreading Ebola for all we know.
Oh, hush. I think I have some food caught in there. Just cleaning my pipes. Anyway, I don't have the germs the teacher is talking about. Tell us about this germ theory. What is it and how is it started?
Well, Pearl, as with previous findings in the contributions to medicine from Van Leeuwenhoek and Jenner, the germ theory came about by Louis Pasteur and Robert Koch. They carried out research that provided scientific proof of the germ theory, which is basically that certain diseases are caused by microorganisms invading the body, basically germs attacking you. Pasteur came up with pasteurization, which is heating of substances to a certain temperature to kill off dangerous microorganisms, and also invented vaccinations for rabies and anthrax. Koch actually had found the bacteria that caused tuberculosis and cholera.
Sounds like things were happening mighty fast.
Absolutely. This led to a golden age for microbiology. Then came the development of penicillin by Sir Alexander Fleming in 1928.
Were there any more vaccines or antibiotics discovered during this time?
Definitely. This is the golden age of vaccines. These were...
Sounds like we got it all figured out.
Not so fast. After this height of vaccines and antibiotics, the medical world was stunned in the late 1970s with a new virus. Can anyone guess what that was?
I can. It was the emergence of what we now know as HIV or AIDS. It was originally found in gay men and was known to be a death sentence. But thanks to modern medicine, we know that that isn't true anymore. And now we have people with this disease living long, healthy lives.
Wow, Pearl, so you know about HIV. You can't even cover your nails.
It's not funny. It's not funny. Stop.
So,
What now?
That's the tricky part, Charlie. In all of our advances, we are now seeing antibacterial resistance. And ways that we can prevent this, or try to, is take our only prescribed medication and to only use when absolutely necessary. We have to wash our hands, Pearl. Immunization should be up to date, and washing our fruits and veggies are just some ways we can prevent this. Thank you. Have a great afternoon.
Yay!
thank you, teacher.
Thank you,